Yeah, we are back. NFL Week 1 Fly Degenerates Pick Show Contest, where we pick 3 games against the spread every week. 1 1-point pick, 1 2-point pick, 1 3-point pick. So season's end, tally up the totals, and we see who emerges victorious. I am emerging victorious, or returning victorious, after emerging victorious last season. I know it's going to be tough to go back-to-back, but we're going to do our best, and we're going to start it off doing our best in the ugliest way possible. 1-point pick this week, week 1. Like I said, ugliest way possible. I'm taking the New England Patriots, plus 8.5. Biggest dog of the week. It's tough to take the Patriots really at all this season, but you know what? I mean, I just feel like week 1, getting a 2-score spread like this, don't really know what to expect from the Patriots this year, but I do think they will be improved. They're getting back Christian Gonzalez in the secondary, which should help them defend the Cincinnati Bengals receivers. Cincinnati Bengals have lost some pieces, particularly on offense this year. They're without Joe Mixon. Tyler Boyd is off in Tennessee. And then on the defensive side, they lost DJ Reader, which should kind of, I would say, maybe make it a little more difficult for them to stop the run. Patriots are probably going to try to run on teams. I don't think they want Jacoby Brissett airing it out. And I just think that they should be able to keep it close, keep it within a score. I don't think that the Bengals are looking to come out and, light up the scoreboard in week 1. They've gotten off to slow starts the last few years. Joe Burrow is whether he's coming back from an ACL tear, or he's coming into the season with a calf injury, or like this year where he's coming into the season off of a wrist injury. Jamar Chase wasn't in camp. A lot of things going on with the Bengals. I'm high on them this year, but I think they get off to a slow start. I think they should win the game. 8.5 points is too much. Give me the Patriots plus the 8.5 for my 1-point pick. 2-point pick. I was trying to avoid being a local guy, but I got to take the Giants. I just don't see any way that the Giants should be home dogs getting 1.5 points against a guy who last time we saw him in MetLife Stadium, he was seeing ghosts, and that was Sam Darnold. I don't think that was actually his last time in MetLife Stadium, but doesn't matter. Sam Darnold has not really shown me anything to make me believe he should be a road dog anywhere. In fact, I think he has the worst starting quarterback record against the spread in since he entered the league, I believe. But regardless, it's a playoff game rematch from 2 years ago, so maybe the Vikings might have a little bit of a revenge angle on the Giants, but I think the Giants are going to be improved from last year. I think that defensive line is the strongest part of their defense. I think they're going to give Sam Darnold problems. The ghosts are going to be spooky and creeping out again on him. I think he's going to turn the ball over, and I just feel like the Giants are going to come out. I think this coaching staff and this front office, after being on Hard Knocks off season and all the criticism of losing Barkley, I think they really want to get this season off right, and I think it's a good opponent for them to start the season off right, to try to get a win, to try to get on track, and salvage some of the kind of poor reputation stuff that's going on for the New York Giants. So I think they come out. I think they win the game outright, but if you're going to give me 1.5 points, and I'll take it. So give me the Giants plus 1.5, 2-point pick, and then for my 3-point pick, heading out west. We're heading out west to SoFi Stadium. I'm going to take the Raiders. I got to take the Raiders plus 3 points. I truly think that the Jim Harbaugh love affair, whether it's from the fans or from the media, it's really nice. It warms my heart like a nice warm glass of milk before I go to bed. But the last time I saw the Raiders take on the Chargers, it was ugly. They lost 63-21, if you remember that horrendous quit job by the Chargers. Now, I think the Chargers are going to come into this season with a totally different vibe. They got rid of that bum Brandon Staley. But how many points is Jim Harbaugh really worth? This is a Chargers team. It's a whole new Chargers team, whole new backfield. He got his hand-me-down running backs from his brother in Baltimore. They got 2. They didn't replace either of their 1 or 2 wide receivers in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who left. They replaced them with who? The 3 and 4s from last year, plus DJ Chark, who I don't even think is going to play. I think the Chargers will be better this year than they were last year. I think Harbaugh is a good coach. I think he's an upgrade. I just think it's going to take some time for them to get there, where you have a Raiders team who finished off last season strong, totally veteran coaching staff. Say what you want about Gardner Minshew. He's still an upgrade over what they had last year. Devontae Adams is still there. They added Christian Wilkins, made a good defense, an already good defense better. Max Crosby's still there. And even if the Chargers come in and win this game, the Chargers are not trying to win games by blowing people out. They're not trying to throw the ball. They brought in Greg Roman to run the ball. If they're going to try to win games, they're going to try to win them by ground and pound, playing stingy defense, the same way that the Raiders are going to try to win games. I expect this is a huge under game. I'm taking the under 100% no matter what. But I think the Raiders should win this game. You get 3 points for home field. What home field? Chargers don't have a home field. There will be exponentially more Raider fans in the building for this might as well be a Raiders home opener. So I don't see how the Raiders are even dogs in this game. If anything, I make it a pick 'em. But if you're going to give me 3 points in a game that there's no way that I can't see anybody blowing anybody out. These two teams just want to drag you in the mud. I think the Raiders are the overall better team. Like I said, I think the Chargers will be good. And listen, maybe they come out and they smoke the Raiders and I look like a fool, but I just can't get there. Give me the Raiders, 3 points, 3-point pick. Lock it in. I think they win the game. And then next up, we have Flex giving his 3 picks for the week.
Oh, you hear that music? You hear it? Yeah, I hear it. And you know what that means. NFL is back, baby, and it's time to make picks. So, for my 1-point pick, it's a little bit unexpected, but I think I'm going to have to go with the New York Giants against the Minnesota Vikings at home. I don't get it. I don't know what the line is right now. When I last saw it, it was at 1.5. I did see it fluctuate 1.5. I think that the Giants have to, if they don't win this game, what games are they going to win? And I just think there's a lot of negative sentiment against the Giants. I think they're kind of playing into that. Vegas. A lot of people love to overvalue Sam Darnold. I don't understand why. He's been on multiple teams, has shown he's not that good. So for that reason, I just have to go with the Giants. It's a team that, they have a good defense. They have some playmakers. And with Brian Dable offense, especially at home, I feel like they're not going to have to do much on the offensive side, only because the defense, I think, could take care of the Sam Darnold offense on the other side. So give me the New York Giants, 1-point pick, and I feel pretty comfortable getting that 1.5. For my 2-point pick, you see the fucking flow. You see the Jets hat. You see the fucking Jets jersey. Martinez, not Wilson, because he's a bum. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to go with the New York Jets. My New York Jets. Potentially Super Bowl bound New York Jets. Did it go up to 4.5 on your end?
4.5, yes.
Lovely. I think they win this game outright as well. I know there was a lot more optimism when we thought that, the 49ers were going to be missing those studs, Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams. But, they're also coming off a long layoff. They're also older players. And I know that we're missing Hassan Reddick, but we're not really missing him. He's never been there. We're going to see how, Aaron Rodgers comes back. Because I'm not trying to act like we don't have any question marks on our end. But the strength of this team is the whole team. It's not, it's not that we have, we need Aaron Rodgers to play like MVP Aaron Rodgers. We don't need this, that. We need, if everybody plays to the back of their baseball cards, I think we win this game. They're missing a couple cogs on their defense on the 49ers side with Hufanga at safety and Warner on at linebacker. Give me the New York Jets getting 4.5. My 2-point pick. Very confident about that. Obviously, there may be some homerism involved, but this is a new year, baby.
3.
No, because I'm not.
I'm very anxious to hear what the 3-point pick is going to be.
Well, my 3-point pick is going to be none other than the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, believe it or not. I think people, are overhyping the Cleveland Browns a little bit. Overhyping the ability of Deshaun Watson to get back to his Houston Texans days. I don't know what would make anybody think that he's going to go back to that. But, he had shoulder surgery. It seems like he hasn't really practiced played much. So I think that's like wishful thinking on the side of the Browns. Dallas, I know there's been a lot of noise and all of that type of stuff coming up. They've had a noisy offseason, but at the end of the day, the one thing that the Dallas Cowboys do year in and year out is get people's hopes up early in the season, winning games. And in this case, they're getting 2.5 points, if I'm not mistaken. And
yes, sir. Plus 2.5.
I feel like that's another game that they can win outright. 3-point pick, Dallas Cowboys. As much as I hate them, I have to go with them.
All right. Well, let's start with my number one. Or my 1-point pick, I should say. And this one's a little tough for me, but I mean, like, they all are tough. But I think I say it about every pick. But I'm going to pick Houston to beat Indiana by more than 3, by the Colts by more than 3. I know I like Indy. I think they're a tough team, but I think Houston's gonna come in hot. I think Houston got a little target on their back, and I think they're gonna be ready for that. I think they're a powerhouse. They're gonna really be a powerhouse this season, and I think that the Houston Texans will beat the Indiana Colts by at least 6. And I don't usually do this, so I don't usually like taking the favorites, but I'm gonna do it again here, and I'm gonna go against my guy, our guy. I think me and you claim this guy here in McVay, but I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions to win by more than 4.5. It's just too many questions for the Rams right now. It's week 1. Nobody really knows what to really expect. But when you lose, I know we said this before, but when you lose Aaron Darnold, when you lose him in a centerpiece, to, Hall of Famer, and I don't really know what that secondary Rams is looking like. I know they were playing decent defense or a little above average defense at the end of the year, but it was really that offense that carried them. And honestly, without double teaming, Aaron Donald, it's gonna be. I just don't see where the defense is gonna be at. I don't really see it. So I think Detroit still has that O-line that made me favor them last year. The reason why I was big on Montgomery, the reason I was big on that on them early was because of that O-line, and I think that O-line's still there. I think Dan Campbell likes to smack people in the mouth. I think Montgomery's still going to be a bigger weapon than a lot of people think. So give me Detroit -4.5. And then with my 3-point pick, I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3.5 against my team that is gonna win, that I picked to win their division, Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
It's the half that really bought me. But that we can't go against Tomlinson, even though I picked this, I did, right, in a way, because I picked Tomlinson to be the worst team in the division, which I'm kind of revisiting in my head a lot. But that defense, I hear you too saying, I think that's going to be the best defense in the league. And why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be at least top 3 defense in the league against Atlanta team that's first year together? Really, because there's so many additions. A dome team against a real hard-nosed Pittsburgh Steelers defense that we all know can play top ball defense, especially with Watt there. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think ultimately Pittsburgh's just going to hit him in the mouth. It's going to really pop him in the mouth and play that dirty Pittsburgh defense style, and they'll eventually win it. I'm not out on Wilson. I'm not in on Wilson, but I'm not out on him completely like I feel the rest of the league is. I hear a lot of whispers of him not being the starter before even halfway through the season. I don't see that, man. I don't think that Fields is gonna is that close. It was that close where people are like, bring Fields in. Even though I'm not in Pittsburgh, I just don't see. I can see it if everything goes downhill early, and it's really bad. But with that defense, man, you know all Wilson got to do is play decent, man. And he showed to play decent ball last year. It wasn't the greatest, no, but he played decent ball. So I'll with him and Tomlinson now, I think he'll be better off. He understands his role more. And yeah, I think Pittsburgh 3.5 is just too big of a gap.